a.m. 3 a.m. of Thursday morning. I usually work during this time, but right now I'm in a break after I finish a deliverable. So while I'm in the break, I've decided to read The Overseas Fabulous Pinay by Donna Avellana Kunzler. I received this book as a promotional copy. This is a free book sent to a number of bloggers to review. I received this last July, but since there is a month-long weekathon in which I've joined, I didn't have the chance to read this. So I'm doing a reading vlog of as I read through the book and give my review. Book is a guide, sort of a guide. Book is full of tips for Pinays who decided to live abroad, intended for Filipinas. So if you are a person who thinks of moving abroad to live there, to work there, or someone who has already decided and preparing to move out of the country, this book is intended for you. This book came out in 2020, this year. The book is divided into chapters. These chapters are usually the preparatory stage, what to do on the first 6 months, and so on. I'm seeing this book in the perspective of someone who has spent 6 months overseas independently. So back in 2017 to 2018, I've spent 6 months in Korea for research opportunity. I've lived in a university. It's the first time that I've spent a long time by myself and outside of the country. I'm comparing my experiences in South Korea back then as I read through this book. So far, these are the parts that I've taken note of. So let's start. I'll read a part of the introduction. Once you start living overseas, that's when you realize that the world has a lot to offer. There are many things to see, cultures to experience, food to enjoy, and people to meet. And I agree with this. When you move out of the country, you realize that there is a bigger world out there, and the world is open to experience. The world is open for you to experience it. And going abroad exposes you to different culture, people, food, and you may discover that you enjoy these things. The introduction laid down what to expect in the book. So in this book, there will be full of tips and advice. And yes, I read through this, the first chapters, it really contains tips and survival tips and guides on planning, adapting. So the first chapter is No Guts, No Glory. This chapter points out that when you move overseas, you're on your own, and that's true. You're independent when you come abroad, unless you come with your family, but most of the time it doesn't happen. This chapter is just what to expect, what to do when you find yourself in the place by yourself. And the things described in the first chapter are the things that I've done when I was in Korea the first few days. So for example, Deciphering a map and gauging a distance. My usual routine when I'm in a new place is to look at the map, find where I'm in, situate where I'm in, look for the nearest establishments, and try to see how many minutes it would take, and then I will go out, walk around the place, explore the perimeter to find out how easy it is to find what I'm looking for, and familiarize myself with the immediate surrounding, the immediate environment. And also it's a way for me to memorize the place, so that next time I will know how to go to this place to navigate, and if I get lost, where will I go? So I usually spend the first few days walking, just walk. And then I learned how to eat alone. I'm in a new place. It's a university. There are also Filipinos there. So the first day was spent with them. So I eat with them as a way of welcoming me to the place. And the next days I've tried to eat alone. So the usual Filipino practice is to eat together, and yeah, I understand that, but I asked them, can I try eating alone so that I can experience how it goes? And I've tried eating alone in a place where few people speak English, and most of them will try to shy away from foreigners because they're shy to speak English. And yeah, I've done that. I've learned a few Korean words. I've ordered in Korean. The first few days are really scary, and I'm anxious because I'm in an unfamiliar place with people who are shy to speak English, but I've survived that. So the next thing is to learn the basics of foreign language, and the book outlines what are those words, the hi, hello, usual, can you help me, do you speak English, how much. And also I've added this is my experience while spending a week or two in a foreign country. You need to also learn how to count and how to buy things. So counting money and also asking for discount. So aside from the 21 phrases that you need to do to learn the basics of, you also need to know how to count, how to say how much money, how do you say the money, the amount of money, and also to ask for discounts. Be real. I've experienced buying things in a roadside store. Asking for discount is a skill that you need to learn. This chapter also describes driving in rental, but since I didn't drive there, I can't say anything about it. Chapter 2 is do your homework, and it's basically the preparatory stage of moving out. It outlines the steps. So for example, know your destination. Usually knowing the destination involves knowing the weather, the language, how much does it cost living there, and where will you be living. The weeks or a month before moving out is usually spent preparing for that. I've spent a month, I think, learning what to expect, what do I expect, and learning the basics of living there, and also preparing your documents, passport clearances, certificates, the works. The book stresses on connecting. You can find Filipinos anywhere in the world, so it would be impossible if you don't try to reach out before you move, before you go to that country. Expect someone will be living near you, so it's important to reach out to them so that you won't be alone. When I was in Korea, there are a lot of Filipinos there. Before we went there, since I'm not alone, we are added to a group chat where we introduce ourselves. They give us an idea on what to expect when we arrive. Connecting with people in the vicinity near you will help you a lot. And then the next chapter is what to do when you are already there. So when you landed, what do you need to prepare? What do you need to do? She identified establishing a bank account, learning public transport. The period for this is the first 6 months. This chapter describes what you need to do in the first 6 months when you've landed. First 6 months of living abroad. Since I'm there for 6 months, more or less I did what she outlined here. I didn't get a mobile phone since I won't stay there for long. Getting a mobile phone won't be a priority. Flat hunting is included here. I've never experienced flat hunting since our accommodations were provided by the school. I didn't experience this. However, some of the things she mentioned here are important. For example, getting to know your hood. So you have neighbors. I have a dorm mate. Introducing yourself, getting to know people around you is very important to establish community. And I agree that you need to take time to familiarize yourself with the people within your neighborhood or within your apartment. That's it. I've read the first 3 chapters. I'm agreeing with the things she wrote here. So I'll continue with the next chapters and I'll let you know what I think about them. In the next vlog, I'll go back to my work because I still have work to do. Yeah.